Still says, there we go.
It says we are live.
Now we are live.
Let me
Yes.
touch myself to make sure. Ow!
Now we're live. Yeah, right. Don't touch if it's live.
I guess sort of, yeah. With Biden, you got to pinch yourself too, right? He's got to pinch
Oh,
himself.
boy. Now all of his allies are telling him to pack up.
Well, also his loyal voters base. He's too old. I couldn't be president, and I'm probably in better shape than he is.
Yeah, I know, but you don't have experience of being a president.
Yeah, that's true. But I could have done better in the debate, even at 9 o'clock, as long as I was sitting instead of standing.
Yeah, yeah, no, right. I think he was just dumbfounded.
I don't think I could have stood for an hour and a half. But the market has got me a little down because I don't like down days.
I don't blame you.
I lost a chunk of money in like 2, 3 days.
Even with Omar's warnings.
Yeah, well, I did take 10% off.
You did. I mean, actually, both you and Omar was scaring me over the last 2 weeks. So, of course, what did I do? I sold my winners, kept my losers, and now my losers are big losers.
Well, I just kind of went evenly, more or less.
That would have been smart for me if I had done that.
Not completely, but you know.
Yeah, I'm looking at a lot of red today.
Yeah, Sava is an interesting story. I don't know what to make of it. I mean, in a way, it is nothing different now than when we bought it a couple of years ago at 8.
Except the price. Oh no, 8. When did we buy it at 8?
We bought a run to 123.
Yeah, no, that's true. We bought it.
We bought it at 12. We bought it at 12. We bought it at 8. I think it was 140 something actually.
Yeah, no, I bought a bunch at 40, but then I also bought a bunch at 70. And then I also bought.
I don't know why you're buying at 40 and 70. I was selling at 40 and 70.
Right. I know. Well, because you're smarter than me. That's pretty much been established
Not
for the last 5 years that we've been working together.
I've learned my lessons the hard way.
Yeah, exactly. I guess you've had a couple of hard lessons over the time as well.
Of course.
We're supposed to have our audience learn from our mistakes.
Well, we make plenty of them. So.
Oh, and Dennis said he nibbled a little bit.
That might be a good idea. I
mean, if you have something real, eventually it's going to be found.
What I was trying to get at about nothing really different when we bought it a few years ago. We knew it was either going to be $0 or a couple of $100 a share.
It was speculative. You're right.
So it's still the same thing. It's either going to be $0 or a couple of $100 a share.
Right. I'm hoping for the latter. If for no other reason, then that would mean that we're making some headway in this whole Alzheimer's business.
I don't like Remy leaving. I don't like the senior vice president leaving. Of course, they were asked to leave. It's bullshit that they left on their own volition.
There's the door. What's your hurry?
What was that great player from San Francisco from 30 years ago, Rick Barry?
No.
Rick Barry.
Barry Bonds?
No, from the Warriors.
Oh, you got me.
Rick Barry.
Okay.
Rick Barry took over the reins at Sava. Not the same Rick Barry.
Probably not the same, right? Okay. One would imagine.
But I like the name. He was a phenomenal basketball player.
I can't say I remember him. And 30 years ago, I was in the West Coast, so Golden State would have been my team.
Well, the thing is, I was probably about 20 when he was at his peak. So you were just in diapers or something.
Yeah, I guess.
So I don't know that you remember.
Well, it's like you got to narrow it down if you're talking about the years in which I'm wearing diapers. Over the span of my lifetime, it may end up being 50%.
Well, in any event, Let's get back to Sava. Buy, sell, or
Yes.
I am holding. I am not buying anymore because
Yeah.
Professor Omar spoke words of wisdom. He said if it's going to go up to 200, 400, we'll make plenty anyway.
Right. From what we own. True enough.
So
That is true.
why be greedy?
And there is a hold. There is a hold that was put a hold rating that was put on it today earlier, like in the middle of the night last night.
The thing is, there was a shareholder lawsuit against Sava, against Remy, and he apparently gave himself on paper too big a bonus if certain milestones were hit. And I think in terms of micro cap,
And he's no Elon Musk.
it rates the money, but maybe didn't.
Right. Well, Elon Musk, they didn't mind giving him his payday because he actually came through.
I think the fellow that took over invested $4 million in April in Sava stock, so I like that. He's a believer. I'm actually a believer too. I don't believe that they would be that crooked to fudge phase two data. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm naive.
I hope you're right. I mean, 'cause like I said, it also doesn't make CUNY look all that good.
I really don't think so. I think they're on the up and up. And there haven't been a lot of people walking away from the trials. Maybe it's helping people.
Right. Good point.
And
Has anything happened on Innovis since that tragedy?
Elvis, I know they have 2 dates in the fall with the FDA. One for Alzheimer's, one for Parkinson's, and I think it's going to be quiet until then.
You're holding that. You have some of that too, right?
I do.
Right. I think you do. You still have like the big four?
I think I'll buy some AVXL if that's what you're talking about.
I still I'm holding that one forever also. And there was another one, IMDb or something like that. I mean,
Maybe ACIU.
no, was that one of those? Did you have that one?
There's also I know that IK.
Right, IKT. I'm still on that one. with Mika.
IKT.
Yeah, I'm still on that one. Mika hasn't talked about that one in a long time. I hope he has some update so I know what to do.
There's a bunch of them that are like phase one, phase two.
Okay.
But Sava is furthest along, and they're looking good, I think. Despite all the noise, you just got to block out. You got to block out the noise.
Fingers crossed.
Block out the noise. Filter it out. If you filter out the noise, if there wasn't all this bullshit, shareholder, anonymous shareholders, anonymous citizens complaint that started the law. If there was none of that, if Wang had no allegations of impropriety and so on, if there was none of that, Sava would be 100 right now.
Right, and if the queen had testicles.
If the queen had testicles, yeah, would be the king, right? Is that did I complete it correctly?
Absolutely.
But
I think we grew up in the same neighborhood with the same set of.
The chart. Yeah, we grew up in basically the same neighborhood. The chart doesn't look good. How can it?
Hello, come on.
We were
How you doing, guys?
We were discussing Sava, and the conclusion that we come to is it's the same bet that it was 3 years ago when we bought it at 12 and 8.
Somebody wrote a comment saying the downside is whatever, $10, and the upside is $500.
No, it's downside is 0, and the
$10 more, meaning
losing
$10 right now.
Right,
so the downside,
losing 10 or gaining. Somebody actually said 500.
Well, that's exactly what Spike and I were saying before you joined us.
Right.
So
he said, it either goes down $10 more or up $500.
Yeah, the thing is, do you be greedy and buy more, or
No, I have a lot. I have a lot.
Right. In fact,
Me,
again,
I'm content.
content if it goes to 500 with the
Right.
amount it
I'm
says. Yeah.
content with the
My
amount of stocks, of the amount of shares I have. I'm not buying anymore.
mine
However,
was
if I know it's going to
if I buy it,
500,
if I buy it, I'm
I'll
taking
buy
it
everything I could.
up. What'd you say?
I said if I know that it's going to 500, I'll buy a lot more.
Yeah, right.
Oh, you'll have an opportunity on the way up.
That's
Really?
true. A little bit of good news along the way.
Yeah.
Maybe they acquit that guy or they drop the charges.
Well, let's take a look at the charts.
Okay.
Being that I charted a little bit, I didn't go crazy charting. But
Oh, you got some good stuff to look at here.
yeah, beginning with the SPX, SPY.
So crypto was on fire today.
Yes. Now, what did I say? If crypto is on fire and if TLT is on fire, we're going to 610. So we got half of the half.
Yeah, TLT's TLT's still up from when we bought it.
Yeah, but I want to see a rally like to about 100.
That would be very nice. I mean, everybody's still talking. They're still talking about the rate cut, and they're still mentioning the R word. So, that should
If we could you imagine how crazy the interest rates will go if by accident they cut in July?
What do you mean by accident?
I mean, they're not. In all likelihood, they're not going to. But there's a
That would be an interesting upward surprise.
Wouldn't you say there's a 5% chance they'll lower in July? There's some small chance.
I think a higher probability would be that in between official days,
Uh-huh.
something than if they actually do something, even if it's an eighth of a point. I can't imagine it.
So they could go ahead and lower in August if mid-August CPI is very weak,
Right. They could always give an October surprise.
or an August surprise.
An August surprise. Well, August. A lot of people are expecting it now.
Well, September is the next.
Yeah. It'll be
If
an
people
August
are expecting it, then it's priced in. If it's a surprise, it's a different story.
I think it is priced in for September. They're talking about
I would tend to agree.
they're talking about 95% chance. So it's priced in. But the big
Yeah.
the big shock would be they go ahead and lower in July. That's about a 20-1, maybe longer, maybe. But it is possible. It's not out of the question. What scenario would motivate them to lower in July as opposed to September?
It would have to be like a massively bad unemployment number, which I don't think they're going to see.
So the geopolitical view, they're expecting Biden to drop out. How do you think that would affect the market?
Zero.
You think so?
Yeah. Because I think that's baked in too.
It's not
Well,
concrete yet.
On the overall, in terms of interest rates, it won't make a difference. In the terms of the overall market, some people might be like, well, all right, if that changes the probability that Trump is a shoo-in,
Correct.
then it might lower the expectations a slight bit. But on the other hand, it makes some other people happy. So
We don't even know if it increases the odds of a Democratic victory or not, whether Biden stays in or not. We think that he shouldn't stay in, but who knows? The race isn't
I
over.
think he's going to drop out. I think he's going to drop out, and it's going to be most likely this weekend.
I don't know.
They like to announce it on like a Sunday, when everybody's like,
yeah.
paying
And
attention.
they'll make believe the process is open, but it'll go to Harris.
Well, the thing is that you have to take away a little bit of the momentum that the Republican convention gave. So you have to do it soon. If they don't do it within the next 2 days, it's not going to have the same impact.
Correct.
As
I
soon as they
agree.
do it before the convention, the Democratic convention. Anytime before the Democratic convention is okay. When is the Democratic convention?
It's in August, I think.
The end of August. Look, it's always like this. The Republican convention will give the Republican candidate a boost,
Right.
a few points in the poll, and then when the Democrats have theirs, they get a few points in the poll usually.
Right. But I don't know if I don't know if you remember years ago when at the very end of the Democratic convention, Bush changed the alert from yellow to orange, like the next day, and
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what took away all the momentum.
with Homeland Security. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very clever maneuver.
So anyway, this chart sucks, doesn't it? It broke the lower channel.
It did break low. Yeah, I'm like drawing the channel that I'm drawing the channel that Dr. Omar recommended, and it broke that one too.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how you draw the channel, it broke it. And it looks like it could easily test the 50, which is at about 538, something like that. Or more likely, it could find support. I don't know about more likely, but equally likely, it could find support at 542. So let me draw that in. I feel like I'm going slow motion like Biden today. Slow motion today. There we go. Right there, 541.50. That looks like the support area between that's essentially the 50, right? Essentially. So I think we got a little bit more downside possibly, and then a turnaround. And if Bitcoin continues to rally, and if the interest rates, TLT, IEF, if they continue to rally, I think we're heading to 610 pretty quickly. So, shorts, have fun while you can. That's my warning to the shorts.
But why the crypto went up today? If the market was kind of down, why did crypto?
Well, as Michael Saylor told everybody, sell all your stocks and buy Bitcoin.
And by what? By Bitcoin?
Yeah. And didn't Samson Mo, whatever his name is, didn't he say 60,000 is the all-time floor forever now on Bitcoin?
Oh, right, on Bitcoin.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not saying that's really the reason it rallied, but I'm not sure. Well, we'll look at that chart in a second. But again, my SPY chart is icky, but I think we're about to turn around. So, I'm forever an optimist, right?
Right. So we're going to use that technical term, icky poo, again?
Yeah. Now, this is a beautiful chart. It should stop right where it is.
On the Qs.
Right at support on the Qs. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll just stop going down, go up, beginning tomorrow.
Well,
I mean, a lot of stocks sold off a lot more than the 3.5%, 4%, 5% that we talk about. What did this sell off from 500 and what? From 500 and about 500, right?
a little above.
A little above 504, let's say. It sold off from 504 to the low of 473. That's 27 and 4. 31 points from 500. It's about 6%. Did I do it right? So we got already a 6% move down. That's enough. The SPY, maybe you'll get a 5% down.
So Dr. J, do you see that gap a little bit to the left?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
A little more to the right now. More to the right.
I see it. Right
yes.
there.
Right there. And that's good. Also, what is that? The 50-day moving average? Where is that purple line?
I'll tell you in a second. I think it's
the 50.
I think so. Yep, that's at 50.
Right, and then there is another gap at the 100.
I refuse to look any lower.
Yeah, but there is another gap that coincides with the 100.
How low can you go? This is to me. This is low enough. I think you can buy Nvidia.
Look, it went much. It went a lot in the past couple of days.
Yeah, I
So
think,
another red candle or another couple of red candles is not.
I think there's enough people waiting for this dip. 6% is, I think, going to be enough to get money in the market tomorrow. So
Tomorrow is Saturday, just so you know.
I think. Well, Saturday.
He means Monday.
Yeah, I always mean the logical tomorrow. Whatever.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean,
The weekends don't count for us.
A lot of this is predicated on what happens over the weekend, anyway. If anything, like you said, if that news comes over the weekend, that might have a big impact.
Well, what if the ceasefire in Israel with Israel and Gaza happens? That might give it a little boost.
That's right.
That Blinken says they're at the 10-yard line.
I don't believe Blinken.
Who's 10-yard line?
I don't
I
know.
believe Blinken.
In other words, they're close to a ceasefire. I hope so. Anyway,
Or to a touchback.
I prayed it with all these wars. That they just
I told you many times. Pray for something more reasonable.
Yeah, I still pray.
There's an old joke about that I might tell you guys offline.
I'm an optimist. What could I tell you? So Qs look like the perfect place to buy. Maybe it went down enough, and if it fills the gap, for sure, 466. I like. I'm salivating at the long side, not the short side. Is IWM the place to go? Professor Omar thinks so.
Yes, Omar definitely thinks so, doesn't he?
He covered his shorts and he went long IWM. Well, to me, it could go down a bit more. Do you see where the 38.2 is?
Yeah.
I think that's
you do the Fibonacci's in on this one.
yeah. So 213. I would buy somewhere above 213, a little further.
Yeah.
I want a little further dip.
I'm hesitant to buy above 210 myself.
Yeah, I mean it could retest this upper channel at about 206. It's possible.
If there's a rotation, I mean the thing is that
I think
we're
that
talking about interest rate cuts and not a recession, then we could talk about a rotation.
I think that rotation was a mirage. It was a hallucination. We all hallucinated. Who's going to be buying the tech again? Mark my words, we're not done with tech.
The issue is people are looking for a much faster gains with crypto.
Yeah, but how much garbage there is in the IWM, pure garbage stocks mixed in. So you're buying a mixed bag, and I'd rather buy individual companies.
There's a bunch of other ones, IWs, that are more focused instead of IWM.
Yeah, probably.
So those might be worth looking into.
Yeah, maybe the top 400.
Like the IWF or something like that.
Yeah.
Or there's a value one also.
Bitcoin. Bitcoin broke. Professor Omar was making a big deal about this double resistance up here. Went right through it, no problem. At this point, I think 71,625 is going to be tested. It looks good. You can make a quick 4,000 on the upside. Probably more than that. If you test it, and failing the test is one thing, but passing the test is another thing. In other words, it may make all-time highs en route to 100,000. Bitcoin is so unpredictable. I like it long term, but short term, it's really tough. Very, very tough. My short-term position and thinking is to go long, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, you know. MicroStrategy.
Today, this stock is like crazy today, man. This is
Did
Oh,
you
look
get?
at this! Oh my God!
Did you get back in?
200. No, I did not.
So you,
I was
sold
thinking.
it
I was
before this,
thinking.
right?
I sold a lot. I sold everything.
I know, and then
I
you
sold all my MSTR and IBIT, and I had
you
a lot.
sold it at 1660, right?
1661, yes.
And you texted me, "How do I short it now?" I said, "Don't."
Yeah, right.
Exactly. I
Yes.
told you that.
I said,
That was some of the best advice you ever got in your life.
"Yeah,
Right.
don't." I said what to do. I said, "Wait for a pullback and buy it back," but
But didn't pull.
the pullback never really came, right?
Well, it might soon, but not this time.
No, I don't think it's coming. I think it's going right to the new highs. Omar hit it 2024.
I said 2024.
I said, I'm sorry. Come on.
I said 2024. I was joking about it. Since
I knew one of you guys said it. It wasn't me.
Certainly wasn't me.
No, I
Well,
definitely said that.
I didn't want to buy it when it was in
It
the
wasn't me. It wasn't Steve. So it had to be either you or Omar.
No, I did.
Okay. That's what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to make a new all-time high. And along with Hutt, new all-time high. This has been the best of the miners. I don't know why, Kamal, but it's been the best. Better than Mara, better than anything. It made a move, better than Wolf, I think. Made a move from.
No, it's not better than Wolf.
How did I was out of Wolf for a while. They both.
Figure it out. It made a move from 7 till
Wow.
21. That's a triple.
That's triple. Wolf, I think, did it from $1.70 to almost 560, 580.
So it's 5:59 now. Today wasn't a good day.
Roughly the
580.
roughly the same thing. Roughly.
Yeah.
But I like this one better because it's like what you say when you're in the football huddle.
When you're about to throw the ball.
Yeah, so Hut 8.
Coinbase had a good day today also.
They all did. But none of them had a better day than MicroStrategy. I actually made money today because of MicroStrategy.
Oh, you still in it?
I'm still in it. You know, I don't. It's hard to chase me. What I did is I sold 10% of most everything, but not that one. Most everything. I didn't sell any IBIT. I didn't sell any MicroStrategy. All right, we want to look at Sava and zvra, however you pronounce that one. Sava, we talked about it at the beginning of the show quite a bit, so I don't want to talk about it too much other than look at the chart. And there's nothing to really say about the chart except yuck.
Right.
Yuck. I want to see it hit 30, 38, at least come and test that level. If it makes a new low, that's a very bad sign. So if it goes below, what is it? I can't read. It's being blocked by something. 885, I think. We don't want it to go below that. There's another low. Yeah.
At 685.
Oh, 685. Yuck. We don't want it to do that because, yeah. At least it's heading in the right direction today and yesterday. Technically, it's very yucky. Fundamentally, there's all kinds of questions. But us crazy believers, we're not going anywhere. So I guess you put me in the camp of being a crazy believer. I'm not so crazy to be buying, but I'm not leaving. Not selling. What do you guys think?
I'm not selling. I mean,
I'm pot committed.
Top committed.
I
Okay.
got a 50% haircut here. You know, I lost half of.
I lost half recently from 22. It was 22 recently, right?
Yeah, no, I got you both beat. I'm down 75% in my position.
No, my average is just below 20, just below, like 19.9 or something like that.
This one has got an advisory committee hearing, I think the 2nd of August, and a PDUFA in September on, I think it's an ADHD drug or some kind of rare, maybe not. I'm not sure what the drug is. It's a rare disease company. ADHD is not a rare disease.
Right? No, it's not. Looks like this. It looks like this is a $5 stock.
Well, it's going to be news driven. It's one of these news driven stories, you know. So you get a good advisory committee meeting. Maybe it pops and maybe it runs up until the PDUFA, and then you sell the day before the PDUFA.
Right.
The usual play around.
If not 2 days before.
Yeah, you got to mess around. If you want to mess around, you can mess around. I think they have a couple of other drugs that make some money. I'm really not familiar at all with it. Somebody requested that I take a look at the chart. Looking at the chart doesn't give me much information. Other than I do like picking it up in the middle of a big green candle, which is right where we are.
Right. Yeah.
So that's the only thing I can say about the chart. It looks like a buy signal right now. If you want to buy this, now looks like the time. If you want to buy it, if you want to own it. That's it. I think we covered a lot of ground.
Well, let me ask you a question since we're sort of at the end. How do you feel about either Microsoft or Amazon these days? Because we haven't really talked about them.
I like Amazon for the main reason nobody else seems to like it all of a sudden. It's gotten killed.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why, these
consumer discretionaries, but at the same time, Walmart's at an all-time high.
Right.
So,
I mean, Microsoft pretty much shook off what happened today.
I own so much Amazon. I'm not selling any. I'm not adding, so it doesn't matter much to me. I'm holding that one. Microsoft, same. I don't own that much, but I'm not selling. I think what happened today, is a fluke with the blue screen. Did you get a blue screen?
By the time I woke up, they were already fixing it. But there's a lot of machines to turn off and then turn back on again.
But it really wasn't Microsoft's fault. It was CrowdStrike.
Yeah, well, it wasn't clear. It was a chicken and egg thing because it wasn't clear if the CrowdStrike was what made Azure do what it did, or whether or not they were independent.
Just so you know, God created the chicken, and then the chicken laid an egg.
Okay,
Right. That's the creationist view.
Well, that answers that question. People didn't know the answer.
Yeah, no. If you're a creationist, you say that if you're a creationist, you say the chicken came first, and if you're an evolutionist, it's the egg that came first.
Okay.
Because the egg was laid by something other than the chicken, but it was a mutation.
Okay.
Mutation.
We're ending the show with a very erudite philosophical discussion.
I want to say, for the records, I raised chickens, and the chicken came first to my house. Then it laid an egg.
Very good, but I want to know how many angels can fit on the head of a pin.
All of them.
All of them. All right, that's it for today. Happy trading. Ciao.
Take care.